Sticky, salty, jammy, sweet. Do I have your attention? My sticky pork ribs are a beautiful minimum input, maximum output recipe that deliver explosive flavour. I first had this combination of tamari, mustard and honey in a restaurant in Sydney that's really famous for their ribs, and the next day I raced to the shops to recreate it. It's very easy. We start with our marinade, 3 tablespoons of whole grain mustard. Now I like to use whole grain mustard here because it has a stronger flavour than Dijon, and I like the texture you get from the seeds, but if you only have Dijon in the cupboard, that's totally fine, it still works. We add some honey for sweetness, equal amounts. So I'm using a honey here. If you want to use maple syrup, that's totally fine. Straight into the bowl. And 3 tablespoons of tamari, also known as gluten-free soy sauce, that goes straight in. Even some tamaris contain wheat starch, so make sure it's labelled gluten-free. We're going to give that a quick whisk. There aren't many ingredients to remember this recipe, that's why it's really great if you're a first-time cook as well, you can't get it wrong. Then to this we add our Asian flavours. Some ginger, I like to add about a tablespoon, you want a nice ginger hit. I think these homemade marinades are much tastier than the store-bought ones you find in the supermarket. They tend to be really sickly sweet and you just don't get the same intense flavours we're going to get here. 3 cloves of garlic. You want a nice garlic hit. Garlic and ginger go hand in Asian cooking. Now to this, I'm going to add a bird's eye chilli today for some heat. Now if you're cooking this for kids and your kids don't want any chilli, feel free to leave it out. This is purely there for flavour. I do like a bit of heat, so that's going to go straight in with our chilli. And it's done. That's how easy the marinade is. Now let me show you these ribs. We've got 2 800-gram racks here. Now with 2 of these big racks, I can feed my family of 5 with some rice and some greens. We just grab a tray. The ribs go straight into the tray. And then we pour our marinade directly on top. Straight over with the marinade. It's really fragrant. I wish you could smell it. Okay, now I'm going to get in there with my hands and just rub it all over. Massage it really well. Now, if you have time, it's great to marinate these overnight in the fridge. If not, just keep going. I'm feeling hungry and I don't have time today, so I'm going to keep moving. Now, time to pour in our liquid so that our ribs get all nice and steamy. What you need is some hot steam in the oven to melt all the collagen in the meat and melt that fat away so your ribs are really nice and tender. I'm using a dry sherry today, which is a fantastic gluten-free alcohol. Now, if you want to make your ribs alcohol-free, feel free to use a chicken stock instead. What we need to do now is trap in that steam. So firstly, a sheet of baking paper. This will do 2 things. Firstly, it stops our ribs from sticking to our foil, and secondly, it provides an extra layer of insulation because we want to trap in that hot steam. Okay, the first step is to pop these in the oven, 2 hours at 160. Okay, first stage of cooking done. Let's unveil. I want to show you how hot and steamy these are. Ooh, better stand back. Okay, our meat is nice and tender. Now what we want is that sticky caramelized glazed and that glistening top. So I'm going to baste these. So just grab those pan juices and using a brush, just gently brush them over the top. This will give us a beautiful color. So I'll baste them once now and then pop them in the oven. I've increased the temperature to 200. Cook them for another 10 to 15 minutes, basting every 5 minutes. Our ribs are ready. Look at how beautifully caramelized they are. I'm just going to give them another little baste before I tuck in. Now, if you have a soy allergy and want to make these soy-free, feel free to replace the tamari with coconut aminos. It works just as well. Oh, okay, time to plate up. I don't even know how I'm going to get these on the platter because they're literally falling apart. I'll use a spatula. Let's see if I can get them on in one piece. Oh, there it goes. That's how soft it is. It's all right, I'll tuck into that one. And our second rack. Okay, let's pour that beautiful sticky glaze on top. This is the best part. Oh, look at that. They say you eat with your eyes, and I bet you want to eat your screen right now. No wonder my family loves this dish. I'm going to tuck in. I'll get this little corner piece right here. Oh, look at how soft and sticky and jammy that is. Let's go in for a taste. I'm getting an explosion of flavour here, so I'm getting the saltiness from the tamari, stickiness and sweetness from the honey, and those tangy notes from mustard. It's just the most spectacular flavour combination. My finger's looking very messy, but it's totally worth it.